Welcome back to the Humble Market Timer YouTube channel. Once again, if you enjoy the content, please like, comment, and subscribe. In today's video, I'm going to talk about IREN. They just announced a massive deal with Microsoft today, but could that deal have signaled the top? Before I go any further, here's my disclaimer. Once again, these are my sole ideas, not investment advice. Now, IREN is a company that builds out AI data centers. Basically, it's a big AI infrastructure play. They were initially Bitcoin miners, but with all the halving cycles that occur with Bitcoin, as Bitcoin matures, the rewards for mining Bitcoin just aren't what they were when Bitcoin first came out. So they were looking to shift their business structure to still utilize all the GPUs that they accumulated for Bitcoin mining, but trying to make the business more profitable with the infrastructure that they have provided. And with the big boom in AI, their setup and company structure was really at a point where it could pivot to take advantage of the needed AI infrastructure. On today, they announced a massive deal with Microsoft. It was a $10 billion deal for AI cloud capacity for their AI infrastructure. Massive deal. Microsoft even agreed to a 20% prepayment. So basically, they're going to get pretty much $2 billion pretty much up front for this 5-year, $10 billion deal. Massive deal. They've been getting deals periodically over the course of the year. And as a result, their stock price has rocketed like no other. If you go back here, here's the chart of IREN. This is a daily chart in 2025. The stock was as low as it was under $5 back here in April. And it has since gone from that $4.75-ish range all the way up to about $75 here recently. So the stock has made about 15x in about 6 months. Insane move. A lot of companies in this AI infrastructure sector have really had massive appreciations in their stock price. IREN has been the biggest beneficiary. You also may hear about Cypher, and there are other companies that have really benefited from the AI boom and the investment interest in the AI infrastructure play. Now, again, this made a massive move, and you see we popped and it went to about that 75, actually just under 75 back here in mid-October. We had a pretty decent dip down to about the $48 range, and it bounced off that area. And with today, we had a repop back up to that 75, actually went a little bit higher than that $75 range at the open. But if you notice, we've had a significant pullback since we hit that topish area that we hit in mid-October. So this might have been a sell the news type of event, but it also may have given those who had invested in the company since early part of 2025 another opportunity to get out at highs. It's made a 15x move in a very short period of time. A lot of people are going to take their money and run. Now, one of the things that may be signaling a top is if you notice the structure of the move that it has made. It has gone up, and if you notice, it did a dip and it moved back up, and now we're pulling back. This is a classic M-top setup, classic move in technical analysis. You often get big pullbacks once you see that M-top. It's a big trigger in technical analysis, and you often see a lot of money start to come out of those big movers, and that have occurred, and where people have made tons of money and tons of profits in a short period of time. Now you wonder, you got these big contracts and deals that IREN has been accumulating, and many of these other AI infrastructure companies have been accumulating. The problem, and I wouldn't say it's a big problem, because eventually these companies will be profitable, but they still require large capex, large expenditures to be able to execute the plan, to be able to really give these big companies like Microsoft and Amazon and OpenAI, be able to accommodate and provide the service that they need for that big AI rollout. And so they will be expending almost just as much as they're getting in, at least in the near term. So the capex for IREN and many of these other AI infrastructure companies is huge. There's been speculation that IREN in particular, their capex over the next year may be up to $10 billion. So even though they have nice contracts coming in, there's going to be plenty of money coming out. If you notice in this article, as part of the deal, they also said they are buying, IREN is buying GPUs and equipment from Dell for $5.8 billion. So that's more capex. Yes, it's a great contract, but they're also going to be spending a ton of money. So again, the headline was nice. Big deal with Microsoft. That's why you got the pop. But if you really look at things from a macro perspective and see how things are going to really shape out over the next year or so, yes, they're going to be getting a lot of revenue, but their spend out in CapEx is going to be pretty significant. And as a result, I believe you will see a massive pullback in the stock. Maybe in the short term, when I say short term, maybe in the next 6 months to a year, before you get another surge where they have put in their money and put in all that capex, and more of the money that they're getting from the OpenAIs and the Microsoft will be more of profit. So I believe you can possibly anticipate a retrace with that M-top coming back to the trend line. If you notice, the stock had been trending higher in a nice parallel that I drew here, but with the recent AI explosion, you can see it exploded out of that parallel. Oftentimes, when you see that M-top, we retrace back to the original parallel. Hard to say what the time frame will be with that, but I do believe you will see a pretty substantial pullback in IREN. But once that pullback has occurred, I do believe you will potentially get another big surge with IREN and many of these other AI infrastructure plays later part of 2026, heading into 2027 in the future. Hope you like the content. If you like it, please like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.